butting into Russ's thing?
No, this is over.
Oh, okay.
You just cut off. I got this weird lighting happening on me right now from the screen. Okay, so. Let's see. Hmm. 2 minutes before this starts.
We should turn the light on for me.
Okay, I don't know how I tune into it from here. Nothing's coming up on here with a notice, so those are all that show videos. Okay, it's always a pain. I am lost. Those are just playlists. They're not going to have anything. It doesn't show up on that. Where's the play? It should be the playlist is where I usually go. Okay. Okay, where's my live playlist? Right. It's not a new playlist.
Shouldn't it be on your channel? You're not on your channel.
I am on my channel.
Oh.
It's not. Oh no, that's playlist. It should have been. Okay, let's go back. Let's try this. Oh, here we go. I found it. Oh, yay, we have people. Okay, we have people.
Are we on already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yay, we have people. You take it, you monitor. Okay. Okay, we have people. Oh, turn down the volume.
Are we on already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, well, we decided to do this because we've been here. This is our third day. Where's my beer?
Third day. Third day here.
Third day in Swalla.
Yeah.
In Swalla. And it took me 3 days to figure out how to hook into their internet system so it didn't take 3 hours to upload a video. Very bizarre how it works here. I connected.
I think it's just the operator.
Oh, shut up. That's what he says all the time. Anyways, we thought we'd do it live and see how that works out. I don't like this. There's too much of the bed showing. Let's move this around here. And I tried to connect to Russ's 11Es, and I see Russ is on here.
Yeah, yeah.
As well. And I was able to do it, and that's when I figured out that I was doing something not right, or they fixed the internet. I don't know which. See, it would come up and say that I was connected, but it didn't have internet connection, it said.
I'm sure you didn't connect it properly.
Well, there's only one selection, and you hit the button, and that's what they told us to do. And that's what I did. And then I found this other connection that said My Cloud, and I have no idea what that's all about. But anyways, we're here. So, yes, I just put up a video for today showing we did a little adventure away from Swalla. We took the train to, I call it Dumbledore. It's not Dumbledore. What is it?
Apple Dorn.
Apeldoorn. And apparently it has nothing to do with apples, or does
No,
it?
it does.
Oh,
It
you
said
looked it
that,
up?
I looked up there's an ancient word in Dutch that was derived from, it was derived from, which means apple trees.
Okay. So anyways, what's anybody saying here? Because you've got,
Says, Balloonist says morning, Karen B says hello, Joanne G says hello, Angela 352 AWR says we can see and hear you. Sherry Cook says hello everyone. Norma Tulloch says hello Idaho. Cynthia Merrifield, hi guys, looks like you guys are enjoying yourselves.
yes, we are for the most part. I'm not going to enjoy the bill or paying the bills for this when we get home. You know, it's very easy to forget that we're paying for things in euros and not in Canadian dollars. So when you see something on a food menu, for example, that says, oh,
$10.
$10,
It's actually 16.
it's 10 euros, right? But your mind doesn't go that way at first. And maybe I should keep my mind not going that way at first, because meals are not cheap here. And we've been going first class on the train, and that's not particularly cheap. Like, what was it first? Now, you got a bargoon today.
Mhm.
So tell the people about this, because you're the one. Tell them how you're doing all this with the trains. What the procedure is you're taking. I just go along for the ride. How do you get us tickets on the train?
Oh, I log on to their net,
Well, that's not
their
what
app, and I tell it where we want to go, and what day we're going, and basically the ticket's good pretty much all day. Then you just, as long as you go to the right place.
Keep talking. I don't like the backlight behind me.
So, once you've booked your ticket, the ticket comes up on your screen, and you just keep the ticket on your screen. Let me see, where am I?
Well, what are you doing?
Showing the ticket. See, it gives you e-tickets on there.
Oh, they can see that really well.
And then it shows you, gives you the e-ticket on there, and you just keep that in your pocket. And if they come around and check, then you've got a valid ticket. If you don't, you get a fine.
Yeah, but he found today for the ticket, at least the one-way ticket to this place we went to, Appledore, that it, you have what, 40% off?
Yeah, I got 40% off.
They had a sale, but we didn't get. Did we get 40% off on the way home?
No, we didn't. We had to pay full price.
Oh, gee. Okay, so what was full price?
Full price was
for 2 tickets.
I think it was 42 euros.
42 euros for 2 tickets.
Yeah.
One way. So that's 42. That's
times 1.6.
So it's around $60.
Yeah.
For it. So yeah. But if we'd had rented car for this,
I mean, the rented car I was looking at would have cost us for the 2 weeks about $1,500 before extra insurance, and then parking is very expensive here. So parking at this hotel that we're in, even though it's outdoor parking, would have cost $13 a day. But parking down in the cities are usually 30 euros a day, and parking in the city centers are like 40 or 60 euros a day.
Okay.
So like more like 60 or $100 a day.
Yeah, I'm just playing with the lighting and the positioning. Now Walter has his glow, and it's from the screen of this thing. Actually, I don't have any other lights on in this room except that one in the corner. So yeah, we didn't. Actually, well, if anything, it would be probably the same amount of money. Better not do that. That's a real spotlight.
Yeah, basically it still works out a lot cheaper if we take the train. And it's not really the reason why I bought the train. I just didn't really feel like driving around in here. And there were a lot of, like, there's cities that we've gone to that have very little or no traffic in the city. So like we're going to Utrecht, and they don't allow cars in the downtown area of the city. So yes. And all our hotels are in the downtown area.
Yeah, so really the train is the best way to do all of this. And of course, if you had to find parking, well, you'd have to find parking. It
Like,
probably cost a lot.
like Steve's complaining about the price of the food or whatever, but actually,
Well, I'm
it's
not
not too bad
complaining.
because you don't really tip and you don't really, um, uh, we haven't been to, you don't really tip and uh, there's no taxes on the food.
Yeah.
The taxes are included.
I'm not complaining. When you travel, things are going to be expensive. What I'm saying is, it is a bit of a shock. I knew things were going to be expensive. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just pointing these things out. Everybody thinks I'm complaining through this whole trip. I'm
You're
not.
you're 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 you're
Yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah,
like an
yeah.
old man.
Well, I am an old man, for God's sakes. Yeah, this is coming. Yeah, this is. I wish I had him on video when he's going on and on about this, that, and the other thing, because, yeah, he doesn't say anything here. Love the spooky look on your eyes. What are people saying?
Anyway, I was wondering about the money. Actually, if we had gone to the United States, it would have cost us just as much on food.
We will not talk about that land which his name shall not be spoken. Okay, so what are people saying? You're really
So
useless.
Sherry Cook was wondering about the money thing. Glad you mentioned it. Um, Diana Corday says, "Good day, Stephen and Walter." And Faith Hepler says, "Hi, gentlemen."
Okay, so we're caught up with a few. It's like I'm not sure what time it is for most of you that are carrying on this.
-6 from what we're.
Okay, thank you for the
So
lesson.
that's probably 10 o'clock there. Is it? No.
No, if it's -6, it's
12
noon.
o'clock noon. Yeah.
It's noon in the eastern
Yeah.
part of Canada, from our part of home. For some of them, they're not all from that part,
Yeah.
where they come from. But anyways, yeah, it's better yet to say it's 6 o'clock p.m. here today at the time of doing this on Saturday, May the 17th.
Right.
In fact, I've lost track of days. We've already been here almost a week. Well, not quite. I guess Tuesday we'll have been here a week.
Right.
So, anyways, today going down to Appledore, we went to this palace. Now, it was debatable whether we were going to go or not. Walter suggested it and said, "Well, this might be interesting." We saw it on YouTube, and yeah, it is a royal residence because Netherlands does have a king right now. In fact, they had a complete succession of queens, actually, with Queen Juliana and then Queen Beatrice, and now it is, what is his name?
I was just trying to remember.
I can't remember his name.
I'm not sure what his name
Yeah, well,
is.
they have a king now, anyways. Actually, usually abdications happen when the previous monarch drops dead, and then the firstborn child becomes the king or queen. Well, Queen Juliana, she's still alive. Queen Beatrice, sorry. Queen Beatrice is still alive, but she's up there, and she decided, yeah, I've had enough being a queen, so might as well let the kid take over. So her son took it over. And they're a very modern looking royal family. In fact, the pictures we saw when we were over at this palace, which is basically their summer palace, but I don't think they hang out there anymore. They've opened it up. It's owned by
Yeah, actually,
government.
they've transferred over to the government. So the government
opened up as
opens it up as a tour place to go.
Yeah. So that's there. It is worth seeing if you're ever in Dumbledore. It's the Hogwarts of Dumbledore. No, not.
It's sort of like, not really like, but it's got huge gardens in the back, and
It's like Versailles in France to a point, but actually it's probably a little nicer than Versailles. At least the grounds are. And you'll see them all in the video that I just posted. I've got lots of video about it. So we did that. Now that was about a 45-minute walk from the train station. So we had to walk through the center of town and up, and we did that. And on the way up there, I see this sign for a street. It's called Canadian Lane. Only they spell Lane Laan. And I thought
it was spelled Lane, Lane.
No,
Oh, okay.
go check
Oh,
the
yeah,
video.
Line, L-A-N, yeah, okay. All right, I believe you.
And yeah, and I pointed it out to you and I asked you, that means Canadian Lane, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you went, yes, it does. Okay, how short your memory can be. Anyways, as we're walking along this, and it's actually kind of a nice area of here. It had some very nice houses, and they had a walkway for pedestrians, and they had a bike lane as well, and they were separate. Now, you might think, well, yeah, well, no, because in Amsterdam and here in Zwolle, they just want to hit you with the bike. They don't
Yeah, well, you
slow
keep
down
walking into the bike lane.
because you hog the whole. Walk next to him or try to. He does this. It's kind of the way he drives too. Yeah. Oh look, let's move over here and push you into the ditch. Oh, here, let's move over here
I'm
and push
trying
you
to
into
get
the
you
bike
killed.
lane. Well, it's
It's not
almost worked.
working.
Yeah, well, I'm resilient. Anyways, so as we're going up this street, there are little scan codes, QR codes, whatever you call them.
In the sidewalk.
In the sidewalk. So I scanned one and it takes you to an app. And I guess it's all about the liberation of the Netherlands during the Second World War, and the Canadians liberated the Netherlands. And it has, little stories that along the way. Yeah, it didn't work. The app didn't seem to work, but I got the point. And there was even a couple of little glass showcases along the side of the street as you're walking up it that had one had a pair of boots in it,
Yeah.
army boots. And I'm sure if the app had worked, I could have found out what those were all about. And there was one that was kind of curious. It was a wooden sign, and the word terrorist was burned into it. And but there was nothing else written, so I don't know what that was about. You know. But we did find out when we got closer to the palace, actually after we came out of the palace, there was a placard there explaining the fact that the Nazis had taken over the palace. And there was a bunker built underneath this one location. Um, and it was a German bunker, I think. But that was kind of interesting. So you don't really realize, unless I guess if you're Dutch and from that era or something, just what a beating the Germans were taking on the Netherlands. But anyways, it is a good place to go to check it out once you figure out how to get the tickets online. That one.
Well, one thing that was stupid there is I said I could book the tickets ahead of time online, and I didn't do that because I wasn't sure if we were going or not. And you have to put in a certain time. You have to put in a time between each half hour interval. And so I didn't know what time we were going to get there. So I didn't pre-book the tickets, thinking that, okay, well, we don't have pre-booked tickets. We can just buy it at the entrance or whatever, right? So we get into the entrance and they're scanning tickets that have been pre-bought. I said, well, so do I have to buy it online? And she said, yeah, I have to buy it online. So I'm standing there on my phone trying to get these tickets squared away, and the app isn't that easy to follow. And so anyway, I was having a hard time doing it. I finally did get it. But then we walked downstairs, and there's a big desk down there that we could have bought tickets at the desk. They could have just said you could go downstairs and buy the tickets at the desk, but they didn't do that.
No, but I just thought of something about why they didn't do that.
They were scanning
tickets. They were scanning tickets above, and they wouldn't have let us get by without a ticket. So true, that would have. But anyways, we got the ticket and got in. I think it was all a bit of
user. They could have escorted me downstairs.
I think it was user error, as I hear so much of these days from you. But whatever. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Try to talk your way out of that one.
No, I think it's because it wasn't accepting my credit card, right? Because that it was trying to send one of those verification messages.
Oh, to the SMS.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, we can't use SMS because we're on prepaid Vodafone data card, and it doesn't support SMS. And for us to use our own system from home, and we have to go on roaming, It's, I think, about $16 a day,
Yeah.
something like that. And which is considerably more than what we paid for the Vodafone for 15 gigabytes,
Yeah.
which we can add to. Which, now that I figured out how this place's internet works, uh, that'll save wear and tear on the data card. But when I upload these videos. But anyways, anybody comments here? We
Just
missed
everybody
anybody?
saying hello.
Oh,
Hello from
Dubrovka's
Central
here.
New
Hi,
York. Yeah, Dubrovka. Everybody's saying hello. So
Yeah. So, anyways, this is our last night here in Zwala. Zwala is very nice. I'm sure you've seen it through if you've watched the videos I've posted. Very nice little town. Uh, Although we have found that at night the Yahoos do come out, and that's these young people. Okay, I'm sounding like an old man now, but they have people come. I don't know so much in Zwala, but in Amsterdam, we'd heard about this, and it's true. There was these young British boys who come over and they just get themselves wasted and cause a lot of trouble, to the point where in Amsterdam they have rules now to trying to restrict this kind of behavior as best they can. And we saw, well, not really an example of it, but we were sitting out in Amsterdam a couple of days ago, and we were having some bitter balls and some beer and some cheese chunks. And that was in the video. And there was these three young lads, British by their accent, and one of them, they were trying to order beer. Well, two of them must have had ID and were of age. The third one, he didn't have any ID, and the waiter refused to serve him. So he decided to argue with the waiter about the laws. And the waiter said, I heard the young lad say something about, well, I thought it was 16 here. And the waiter says, yes, it was at one time. It's not anymore. It's 18. Well, they were in Germany or somewhere and they got served there or something else. And the guy wasn't budging. He kept it up. He says, no. And this kid, anyways, looked like he was like 6. Anyways, so he didn't get any beer, but his buddies got beer. And I noticed his buddies didn't really share their beer with him. So I don't know what that was all about. But maybe they were a little bit more sane than some. But yeah, they get high because I mean,
yeah, tanked up and everything, and then they caused a lot of problems. And regular paying tourists are upset that this is going on.
Yeah.
They get drunk so bad that there's hospitalizations and
well, yeah,
they're doing things that on the streets that they shouldn't be doing. So
yeah. But the Dutch, though, are very strict, and I don't blame them for it. We should be more so in our country, I think, with it. But there were a few yahoos, and they weren't kids that were out. Like, okay, they come out at night to drink, and they're hanging out in different places. I mean, they're just being loud. Okay, we didn't see anybody being downright obnoxious and criminal or anything, but we don't feel comfortable trying to have a dinner in a place where they're standing around and blah, blah, blah. And the Dutch are loud to start with, but we found out. Okay, those of you that have been on Sewing with Stephen in the past, you'll all remember Margaret. Okay, the incident with Margaret from Holland, who is a Canadian, I guess, well, lives out west. But anyways, she has no problem telling people exactly the way that they should be and what they should be doing. And it's according to Margaret's standards. And if you don't live by Margaret's standards, then, well, Margaret is not movable on her decision. Well, we're in the first class part of the train today, and there was nobody else in the car. We were the only ones. But there was a barrier between us and, I guess, second class. And it does say on the windows in the one we were in, it says silence. And then whatever it is in Dutch, still, or whatever, still, or something. And it has symbols showing, use headphones. It's a quiet area. So I guess it's designated as a quiet area on the train. Well, we were just talking to each other. We weren't being loud and obnoxious. although when Walter gets upset with me because I'm doing something so bad, he thinks, he does raise his voice, and this woman came in and said to us basically, this is a silent area. You have to be quiet. Okay, Margaret. And I went, all right,
Yeah, and we were the
sorry.
only one in that section of the
Mhm.
train that was supposed to be quiet. Like we saw the signs that you were supposed to be quiet, but we figured, oh well, we weren't talking that loud. We figured we could talk because we were the only
Because we
ones in
weren't the only one in there and
there.
we wouldn't disturb anybody. But apparently, the little doors that closed, separated us from the other section are not soundproof. So, yeah. Uh, anyways, fine. That's what it is. But I mean, what I'm pointing out is the Dutch seem to be very particular about the rules. Okay. And they're not afraid to remind you of those rules in no uncertain terms. So that's why she will.
Actually, I
Why we
just
call
make a
her.
comment
What?
here. CC Farmer says that, hi, Stephen and Walter, it's the same thing in Germany. If you ask for ice, you're going to get ice cream. Actually, I know how to speak Dutch and I know about Dutch, and ice is one of those words that can have several meanings. So, ice is actually used for ice cream if you go out and buy an ice cream in Holland. And ice is also the word for ice that you put into your drinks. But the thing is they don't think about it when you ask for ice because most Dutch people don't put ice in their drinks.
So yeah, you'll get things like that. But any other questions or comments at the
No.
moment? Okay, so that was kind of amusing, but you can bet we haven't said anything since.
What we should have said was ice blocks for.
Oh, I was talking about the train, but
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. What was the thing?
yeah, with the ice blocks, but whatever. Actually, I kind of knew there might be a problem with asking about ice because I remember when we were here 21 years ago,
Yeah.
and um, Americans, as I said in the video, love lots of ice. Well, North Americans in general, we like our ice. And it's common for us, we order a pop or something, you get ice in it. But not here. Except they do at the bar. If you're getting a mixed drink, they will put ice in that
Well,
because
especially it's kind of hard for you to get a drink on the rocks without ice.
well, yeah. Well, they could throw in a couple of stones. I don't know. Here you go. Your drink's on the rocks. Um, but yeah, that's just a little minor thing. It doesn't make any difference one way or the other. Neither does the Margaret on the train. She was right. We were wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I just didn't realize how strict they were going to be
Well,
about
yeah,
it.
well, not that. It's the people will, if they see you doing something wrong, they'll tell you. So
Yeah, I wonder how that would work on them if they come over to North America and some
yeah, I don't
sections of
know.
it, and they walk up to a complete stranger and tell that stranger they're doing something wrong. Um, I don't think that will go over very well
No.
over here, but whatever. Um, so yeah, today we did that. We had lunch in
Appledorn.
Appledorn. Um, felt like a salad. Needed a salad because we've had a lot of bitter balls.
Yeah, we've had a lot of non-salad items.
Yeah. Oh, speaking though of good meals, we went another one that was a long walk here in Swalla. We ended up out in the bushes. That's in the video, yesterday's video. And there was this restaurant out there, very popular restaurant we came to discover. And we had the special of the day, which was a croquette, um, a hard boiled egg sliced up.
With a type of mayonnaise on
Yeah,
it.
type of mayonnaise on it, and it was asparagus soup because right now it seems that the two things that are very much in season right now here are asparagus and strawberries, and the strawberries are really really
Yeah, they are. They're
good.
good.
And the asparagus soup was good too, but we also got now this we didn't know what we were getting because
It wasn't well explained.
no, it was sort of sliced up chicken on a piece of bread on a piece of, nice bread.
But it's one of those like flatbread type things.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really flatbread. It was like a slice of bread. But
No, it was a flatbread. It
was it? Oh,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
focaccia or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's right. It was because we had an extra piece there.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's right. And it was nice though.
it was
Actually,
really good.
yeah, but I got the apple
He saw there was
pie.
a table next to us, and they had what they call something. They make sort of it looks like sort of like an apple pie, but it's called an apple tart. And it's the pastry is more of a shortbread type pastry on the outside of it.
But it's high.
It's high.
It
It's
looks
really
like a slice of
thick.
cake,
It looks like
actually.
a slice of cake.
It's a weird, but it was delicious.
But he saw it come out, and the way they do it, present it here is they use real whipped cream, and it's like whipped to really really stiff, and they put a big dollop of it on top
Yeah.
of it, and then I saw on the menu there that they had fresh strawberries because I love strawberries, fresh strawberries with ice cream and the same type of whipping cream. So I said I'd like that, so I had that.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. Yeah, we've had a fair share of food. Yeah, we're gonna be rolling home. We have to buy
Yeah, it's been really good food. So
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, I don't think we've had anything that I would say was horrible. Um, and then of course last night we went into the bar area here of the hotel and just had a couple of beers and got some bitter balls again. And we're trying the bitter balls in every area because no,
they do vary.
they actually vary quite a bit. But we had the bitter balls and we had a cone of fries.
They seem to serve all their fries in cones, in
Yeah,
paper cones.
which looks really nice. They have special little stands for them to stand in and everything. And of course they serve them with mayonnaise. Um, and actually it's a thing, right? I think it's a thing that's starting to catch on in North America too, because I have seen some videos or stuff when people go out and they're getting fries with mayonnaise as well. So I think I have tried all of the foods I want to try while I was here. Walter has not yet had the herring. He
Notice
hasn't.
there weren't that many herring stands in Zwolle,
No,
but there's a lot in Amsterdam because
yeah,
they're trying to cater to the
tourists.
tourists.
Yeah, smelly fish on with onions. Yeah, ooh, and it's raw. Oh no. I suppose if you're into sushi, you'd be okay. But
Well, it technically isn't completely raw in that, I mean, it's never been cooked, heated or whatever, but it's been brined.
yeah, well. Anyways, it has a smell for sure, and
Fish.
yeah, yeah, very fishy. And when you walk by one of those stands and you get a whiff of that, for me, who absolutely hates fish, I just about gag. Uh, but I guess some people really love it. And we did find some smoked eel. We didn't get any, but it was in the market
Yeah,
yesterday
I
as
don't
well.
think it's much of a thing anymore. So my aunt, I think, said a few years ago that there was a problem with either they were overfished or something like that.
So I think Judy wants to know what bitter balls are.
Bitter balls are if you get they make a mixture. How can you say it? They call it a ragu. It's like sort of if you get the inside of a meat pie and you grind it all up and it's a paste inside that tastes like beef bouillon, and it's got little pieces of beef in it as well. And what they do is they roll that up into in breadcrumbs and deep fry it, and you end up having a little round ball with this beef and paste inside. It is very tasty. It's salty and beefy tasting.
Did you mention it's deep fried?
It's deep fried.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but and then you get these, and they're just little balls.
Right.
They make bigger versions. They're called croquettes. They're the same thing except they're long
Yeah.
and like a cylinder
Right.
kind of shape. And you dip them in mustard. And I'm discovering that not all mustards are the same
Well,
here.
it's usually a green mustard here, and it's a green mustard that has a horseradish in it as well. So it has a very spicy taste to it.
It's got a bit of a nip, Put it
Yeah.
that way. Actually, the one that we had at one place in Amsterdam, the bitter balls, that mustard it was just like eating pure horseradish. You know how you get the really fresh horseradish that's really hot and it goes right up your nose and cleans out your sinuses? Well, that's what this stuff was like, which basically I like that because I'm a bit of a masochist. But for pain, but you knew the mustard was good when you've got tears in your eyes and your nose is dropping off from it. So yeah, so the food overall has been very good. I think tonight we're just going to go down again into the bar and just get some nibbly things or whatever because we don't really feel like walking back into town. We're not that far from
But it
town.
gets really busy, and a lot of the places are really small, and a lot of the seating is outdoors,
Yeah,
and it's no, it's a bit chilly.
yeah.
So,
Right
and I
now,
mean, you see a lot of people sitting outdoors freezing,
yeah.
and they're eating their meals. So,
It's not bad right now. It's 17 degrees C, but it does drop down.
and there's a real cool wind.
Yeah, the breeze is the thing that's more so than anything else that makes you feel like cool here, too. So yeah, today was a good day. It was interesting. We're getting to become good at the train system, but it's really pretty well laid out, as we said before.
Yeah, it's good. Their app is very good. To get to where we were going today, we had to take two separate trains, and it tells you exactly on the app. Okay, this train is going to take you 40 minutes to get to the train station. This one train station. It tells you the train's going to end up on platform 3, and you have to transfer to platform 4 to get your next train, and the next train's another 10 minutes before you get to where your destination is, and it tells you how many minutes between trains.
I felt like we were on the Orient Express though when we were coming back from Appledore for a whole 9 minutes to the next train station that we had to switch trains at because we had a compartment in
Yeah,
first class.
that particular train was going to Germany, so it was sort of an
Inter country.
country, like it was going to the other border. It was an older train, and it had all these compartments in there. So
Yeah, so I said to Walter, "Oh, I wonder if there'll be a murder on this one. Orient Express, Hercule Poirot will be after us." Um, so yeah, so tomorrow, what's the plan for tomorrow? Well, tomorrow we're going down to Rotterdam.
Rotterdam,
Whatever, what's it called?
Rotterdam.
That's what I said, Rotterdam.
No, you just said Rotterdam.
It's a Canadian accent. We are going down to Rotterdam.
And that's their main shipping port. Is Rotterdam. It's actually one of the biggest shipping ports in Europe. So, and it's a different kind of city because it was heavily bombed during the war because it was a shipping port, and so a lot of their housing disappeared. Their older housing, so they've had to rebuild the whole city and with brand new buildings.
So it's going to look very, very different from what we've shown you so far with Amsterdam and Zwolle. It's because it's going to be very, very modern looking. So that'll be interesting to see. And we're in Rotterdam for what, 5 days?
5 days, and we're using it as a hub to go to other places because there are other places I want to go to that are in the surrounding area that are only like a very short train ride away, probably around less than 30 minutes. And so I thought, well, this place was reasonably priced and it's right next to the train station in Rotterdam. And so anytime we want to go somewhere, we can just hop on the train and go somewhere. So,
Yep. So how long is it going to take us to get there?
I haven't looked at it. I think it's a little over an hour to get there.
Okay, longer train trip this time because the other ones were relatively short. I think what Amsterdam to Zwolle was
An hour.
Was that an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, it felt like 42 minutes.
No, it was an hour.
Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, so that's what we've got planned coming up next. So the other advantage to being over here right now when it comes to TV is, and this won't mean much to many of you, but it is Eurovision time, which is the European big
Music.
music festival contest that they have every year, and they've had it for like 68 years. And we follow it on YouTube. But the thing with YouTube is, well, if you have a VPN, it's not a problem. But if you don't have a VPN, on YouTube, you can only watch some of Eurovision because they don't transmit it to every country. But it's a huge competition. I love watching it every year. And tonight at 8 o'clock, it's the finals. Um, I don't know if we'll see the whole thing because usually the finals run about 4 hours for this. So, but yeah, I know that means nothing to probably any of you, but I always get excited about it. Although we have watched the second last final and that, and the music kind of sucked this year. So I don't know, but whatever. So that's on the menu for tonight after we go down and have something to eat. So, any last minute questions or comments there that we should address?
No, they're all listening, just listening.
Okay. Well, it is early in the day. It's not our usual time. So, anyways, yep. Thank you for joining in with us today. So now that I have an internet connection, that we're about to move out of this hotel, and we'll have to see what the next place will bring me. So stay tuned. But so far I've been able to post a video every day, and that is what I'm intending to carry on doing as long as the technology works. So thanks for joining us, and we're going to carry on having our adventures, and we'll share it all with you as well. So see you later. Bye.
Bye.